Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Nice.
You guys having a good time?
Yeah.
Well, then we should stop now. I am your MC, which, if you're not familiar, stands for mature comedian.
Right.
If you haven't been to a comedy show before, all we ask is that you laugh, have a good time, smile. If you like the joke, laugh big. If you don't like the joke, we are comedians. Our cocaine is your laughter. So please, keep it coming. I've been doing comedy about 3.5, 4 years now. And I found that comedy is filled with bald jokes, racial insensitivity, family dysfunction, what I did when I drank too much, smoked weed, or took this drug. And the thing is, I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Full head of hair, and I'm white, so what the heck do I have to complain about?
Really?
Now, when I say I'm white, if we're somewhere and the lights go out, they put me by the door so you can find your way out. If I walk up to you and I do the fist bump with the explosion, at that moment, it is not cool. Now, I was, however, a successful rapper.
Oh.
Of course, that involved a table at the mall around Christmas time. I did get to see a rap video being made. A friend of mine was a promoter. We arrived around 2 a.m. at this empty warehouse. I was dressed in a dress shirt, dress slacks. Got out. Artist walks up to my promoter friend and says, "Hey, who's the narc?" How bad of a narc would I have to be to come dressed like that? I mean, I'd come dressed like Lou. Blend in a little bit. I am the father of 2 daughters who happen to be over here. And that is, it's not a dream. It's not the dream I had when I was younger to be surrounded by women. It's not. I mean, the cat's female, it doesn't listen to me either. But, as a parent, there are those moments that you get to pass along your wisdom. Sitting at the dinner table, my oldest daughter's about 5 years old. She's eating and talking. "Honey, don't talk with food in your mouth." Without missing a beat, she reaches in, takes the food out of her mouth, holds it, and continues to talk. It was a good life lesson, and I learned it quite well. Over the last few years, women have claimed their power, their independence, their strength. And as a father of 2 daughters, that is a wonderful thing. When my daughters, they want to change their hairstyle, they change their, whatever they want, they can do that. But as a white male, I want to claim something. If I want to keep the same hairstyle for 30 years, it is my right. I don't have to color it purple or green or, no. How many people have had that list at the beginning of the quarantine of things you wanted to accomplish? All that free time,
Yeah.
Most people, of course, first and foremost, want to get in shape and eat better. And about that getting in shape, I did not realize that my shape was a pear. Got that COVID-19 and some. But I did want to exercise. I wanted to try yoga. I did not have a mat. Yoga without a mat is downward dog on ice. And I wanted to create a Facebook group for procrastinators. I just kept putting it off. I did get to have a job for a little while at a car dealership. They had to let me go. They said I wasn't quite what they were looking for. They were thinking more sign spinner, not naked guy waving his arms. And I was doing a lot of the Zoom online comedy over the last year. And so I've more recently got back into live comedy, and it's been rough. I mean, the first couple times they kicked me out because I had no pants on. It's a hard habit,
Yeah.
But it's been a tough time. I mean, I keep seeing those X's on the floor everywhere. And I see and first thing I do, I look for that precariously balanced boulder that's about to crush me. That rocket car. Who knows what I'm talking about? Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner,
Oh, yeah.
Wile E. Coyote, the self-professed super genius. How much money did he spend going after that Roadrunner? Have you seen that Roadrunner? It's a scrawny little bird. Mostly muscle. How tasty is that bird going to be? But think about how much money. He did instantaneous drop shipment. Do you know how much that cost? I don't. Amazon does not offer that. You know, he could have had filet mignon every single night for the money he spent. He didn't think, hey, Grubhub, bring me some Roadrunner meat. Super genius? I don't think so. I am getting older. And I can tell this by my mail. AARP is sending me junk.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking typical junk mail. I'm talking full color Cialis-like ads. Thanks so much. And hearing aid company. I can't hear and I can't get it up. Senior living. I'm feeble too. Most recently, the crematorium. You know, I'm not old enough that I need to wear Depends. I'm just lazy. But you know, you hear a lot about, you know, retro and vintage. You may not understand the difference, so let me explain it to you. Retro is when they copy my style. Vintage is when they steal my stuff. Those are my jeans, give them back. I've been noticing things have changed over the years. I mean, when I was younger, I could hear my internet connection. And technology has advanced a lot. And now you have Google Voice and Alexa and Siri, and it's nice because I'm no longer the only one with a disembodied voice telling me things to do. What's that? Yes, I thought that joke should have gotten a bigger laugh too. I don't think we need to kill him. No. Let me check. Does anybody have an axe I can borrow? A machete will work. I'll clean it up when I'm done. So, how many of you guys just get here, or you guys been here for the week?
Sunday.
And going all week? Picked a good week for it. One of the times I was here, it was raining. We had to be inside. It's so nice to be able to come out in casual clothes, but it's still hot. So I've been, I got my vaccine. You know, got the 2 shots. And I'm still confused. Does anybody know, was it supposed to be the first shot or the second shot that I get the mutations? I mean, you have to know which costume to wear for your crime fighting. I mean, seriously, if you have the third arm and you have not accommodated for that, it just looks like a hunchback. That is not a good look. So I've been doing a lot of driving, and I'm going along, and the car in front of me, the light on the license plate was flickering. So I'm thinking to myself, faulty bulb? Or is there somebody in the trunk trying to send me a Morse code message? I wish I knew Morse code. Not as much as he wishes I knew Morse code. But I did let some guy in. And you know, when you do that, all you really want is the wave, right? Some acknowledgement you did something good, something nice, right? I didn't get the wave. So I pull up next to him. I look over. Still no wave. So I put him into the wall. I put him into the wall hard because if you don't teach them, they will never learn. It worked. He was learning. He was waving. It was the single finger wave, but that is a start. I drive a Prius. And people, there it is right there, Prius. People think, oh, the Prius, that's a slow car. It is not. I have the paperwork to prove it. They're called speeding tickets. The other day, I was on the highway. I passed a Porsche 911, beautiful car. They immediately pulled off. I pulled off. We get out, exchanged keys, and I drove off in the Porsche because that is the rule when a Prius passes a Porsche. Gotta give it up. Do you have any hunters in the audience?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I dropped my first deer. 1 hit. Now I need a new car. I do have an issue with animals. I had a suicidal possum once. I mean, it ran out in front of me. I swerved. He ran next thing. I swerved back. I mean, it got to the point I had to decide. Possum, ditch. I'm sorry, possum. I hit the possum. $1,000 worth of damage to my bumper. Can you sue a possum? I mean, you can't sue that possum. He's dead. But like his wife and his kids. Can I sue them? I want them on the street. No, I don't want them on the street. Never mind. That's not going to work. At all. Well, I have regaled you enough. I want to introduce you next to our feature and headliner. He has been doing this for 7 years in 5 different countries. Every single state. Over 1,200 performances. Wow. I don't know how many audience members he's counted, but he's counted them all, and he's been there. He is a retired science teacher from Arizona.
Aww.
He is America's favorite old man. I want to introduce you to a man close to my heart. Funny man, please welcome to the stage, Arizona Lou.
Yeah.
Keep it going for George.
Yeah. There goes George.
I've told most of you I have a weak voice, and I don't want you to miss out on anything. So if you'll move about 3 feet closer over there and a couple feet closer and fill in the spaces, and also you folks, you will enjoy the show more, and I won't strain my voice.
Okay.
Yeah, the way it works, the front are out.
I don't know if I can get out of the chair.
I can't get out of the chair.
Oh my God. Sure.
George had a strong voice.
Is there anybody in
Do we need
chair?
this?
We don't need that. Oh, what the heck? All right. It's okay, so stand up. It's okay, it's okay.
You're all right, so you can right there.
Okay. So sorry.
Oh,
we had an extra one.
Come on up.
There you go. Oh, bring your chair. Hold on, I'll move mine over. Is this your drink, Barney? No, that's yours. I have one in here.
Okay, so while you're moving,
That's fun.
have you ever noticed how comedy is such hard work? Did you notice Gio Wagner was sweating up here? Well, it has nothing to do with the weather, of course. I want to thank you for letting an old guy up here. You ask, how old?
How old?
79. In comedy, we call that a sympathy applause. But can anybody beat 79? Well, respect your elders then. I'm so old, I do silly stuff, like trying to still stay alive for the next 45 minutes. And I worry a lot about what's going to fall off next. My last name isn't even Jenner. I like slow rolls too.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot more time in front of the mirror looking for body parts that are not saggy or wrinkled. I'm so wrinkled that the other day I had trouble adjusting my whitey tighties. Till I realized I wasn't wearing any. I'm fashionable tonight. They're stripy tighties. I hope I remember what I want to say, and I hope I don't fall asleep. It's unlikely with you guys and this little breeze. You're so awesome, I want you to come and spice up my funeral. Too late, it was last Tuesday. And I appreciate what people have done for the military, and I'm on a 8-state tour doing free benefit comedy shows for veterans posts. And let's hear it by applause if you served in the or if you are family who served in the military. Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody here either serve or a family who served in the Air Force? By applause. Anybody? Okay. Well, then let's go to the Navy. Let's hear by applause served in the Navy. Okay, thank you. And did you know that Navy is an acronym?
No.
NAVY stands for Never Again Volunteer Yourself.
I would say that's about right.
Voice of experience. Well, let's hear it if you've served in the Army. By applause. Anybody?
My dad did.
Oh, okay, all right. I was wondering because you're going the second time
Yeah,
around
yeah,
here. I
yeah,
was
well-
worried. I was worried about you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I mean, there is some crazy people out
Did
there
you know-
that enjoys the military.
Army's an acronym. You can tell your dad.
Uh-huh.
It stands for Aren't Really Marines Yet.
Oh.
All right, you Marines. Let's hear it if you served in the Marines. Nobody?
No one crazy enough.
I've had family members there, too.
His cousin did. All right, that'll work. Tell your cousin that that's an acronym, and it stands for Muscles Are Required, Intellect Not Essential. We do thank you for the service, and if I'm lucky, I'll remember what I want to say tonight. If you're lucky, I'll wander off somewhere.
Lou,
Back,
Lou. Lou.
Come back,
Lou.
Lou.
Silver alert! Silver alert! I could become famous on one of those electronic highway signs. I just love those things. They tell you so much important information that will help you drive safely, like wear a mask. In Pennsylvania, they had one that said, motorcycles, orange, you glad you look? I did at the signs and have no idea how many motorcycles I ran. With those things, you can get distracted without even using your cell phone. And then they figured out that they ought to put two messages on one sign, alternating them, with the one that spends the most time on the sign, the one that you don't care about, and the one that's just up an instant is the one that's important. You can tell I really like those things. I just hope I don't wander off to Chicago. Anybody here from Chicago? Well, I did comedy there, and I was disappointed that I didn't collect any bullet holes. In Chicago, I have a, well, let's hear it by applause. Well, no, let me take this route. I flew on Halloween to the Miami to do some comedy. I told you, be lucky if I forgot stuff. And I thought about taking a broom since it was Halloween. I just took one step above a broom. Basic economy. Let's hear it by applause if you've ever flown basic economy.
That's where I live, Lou. Where I live.
All right, well then let me explain to you rich people. Basic economy is where you're last to get on the airplane. After the standbys and the homeless. And when you get on, the overhead bin space is gone with the wind. I need to explain to you young people, that's an old movie with a lot of scarlet in it. And then they put me in a little narrow middle seat, which is okay because I'm little and narrow and so that kind of stuff. After I got settled in, I noticed coming down the aisle a BBW. Anybody know what a BBW stands for?
Big, beautiful woman.
Yes, big, beautiful woman. And it was, well, by the glide in her stride, I could tell she was proud of her big butt. And it was the first time I saw one, the woman or the butt, that could caress the seats on both sides of the aisle at the same time. And I knew that she used a 220 volt industrial strength CPAP machine because she had a triple chin strap. And she had the eye on the seat next to me. So in a defensive strategic maneuver, I eased the armrest down. And when she sat down in the seat, it changed the center of gravity of the airplane. And over the armrest was her muffin top. Under the armrest was her muffin bottom. And I had never seen her from the rear view until she got up to use the bathroom during the flight. And I had never seen so much spandex in one place. We'll make that two places because she was a walking wedgie. I don't know how she got in that little bathroom, but I did notice she had to back in. Beep, 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 beep. About 10 minutes later, when she came out, she was rectangular. Looked like she had, you guys are good at geometry, aren't you? And you don't even know what geometry is. She looked like she had just stepped out of a trash compactor with the imprint of the waist door. Of course, it read backwards. Her hip read Esta. She was a nice lady. We had a nice conversation. Once I realized the only time that I could inhale would be when she would exhale. Let's hear it by applause if you're over 45. Over 45. Okay, keep it going. You're not over 40. About years, not months. Keep it going if you've had your colonoscopy. Those of you who haven't, better hop to it, and you young people, put it on your electronic calendar at 45 because those things save lives. I had my most recent colonoscopy, by the way, without anesthesia. And, hey, I'm going to do the next one that way too. I told the doctor to give me a play-by-play account of what he was doing, and laying there on the bed, I'd never seen my butt on a big screen.
I love the word butt.
In high def.
I love the word butt. Well played.
And the doctor said, well, when I inflate your colon, if it starts to get painful, let me know, I'll slow down. So I did, and he did, and everything was fine. His little probe was like a little train going through a little tunnel with a big light and an air compressor for inflating the tunnel around the tight corners, and a video camera. In fact, I was so impressed I put a picture of it on my Smart Stuff webpage. The inside. And he had a pincer. He found a little tiny polyp, like picking up a little mushroom. Then rinsed it off with his garden hose. Cleaned everything up with his shop vac. And then when he was finished, they put me in a wheelchair, sent me to the, took me to the parking structure, jumped out of the wheelchair, ran up to my van, stopped by the grocery store and the gym on the way home, and just had a normal day. Next one I'm going to do the same way. Pretty cool.
That's what my dad does.
That's what her dad does.
Let's hear by applause if you're a middle child.
Nope.
There you go, Bob.
Right, all right. Well, middle children have a hard time, so I had kind of a tough
You
child.
got tough.
And my older brother Stanley lived in Hutchinson, Kansas. And a while back, that's where we lost him.
Luke.
Lou.
Never did find him.
Still looking.
I guess he forgot to click his heels together. Oh, I need to explain to you young people. That's an old movie with a scarecrow and a little dog. Well, Stanley was into supplements, and now he has the healthiest prostate of anybody in the Greenwood Cemetery.
Oh, he dead.
Yeah, more about that later. Stanley was a real estate mogul. Well, if you count one duplex that was still standing only because the east half was leaning against the west half. And I'm not saying Stanley was stupid, but he let Billy move in rent-free in exchange for fixing up the place. So you know how that went. Billy moved in a carload of cockroaches. Actually, that's the little dog, by the way. We're still looking for the scarecrow. Actually, it was worse. He moved in Dawn, his girlfriend. At least I think that's what was under all those tattoos. They were so wrinkled it was hard to tell. No wonder she was a chain smoker. Let's hear it by applause if you've ever smoked any chains. But she did have a winning smile. If you count 3 teeth. They made an excellent cigarette holder. She could puff her way right through a Kansas tornado. Oh, that's the same movie? With the scarecrow and the little dog. Don, I never saw Billy. He was in government housing. Don called it jail. And her pride and joy was not the giant screen TV she had blaring. It was a long extension cord she used to plug in at the neighbors. She was fancy, though. She had a curved shower rod.
Oh, that's fancy. That's fancy.
Attached to the outside of the house. Because nothing worked inside. So her daughter, yes, she moved her in too, could use the garden hose. I learned a lot about white trash. Yeah, I have a lot of room to talk. If you... I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't compete with the dog. If you want to... No, I can't compete with the dog. My voice is not strong.
I'm trying to get up and let you.
Okay, sorry about that. But I spent a year starting my van with a wire hanging out from under the hood. Well, Mother used to say, Louis, hold your horses. Of course, that means be patient. And then during the 70s, during the space age, it was cool your jets. Now, what do you say nowadays if you want people to slow down, not get in a rush?
Daddy G. Chill.
Chill. Chill out. Slow your roll.
Yeah.
Take a chill pill.
No.
Well, if you go to Hawaii, you want to remember Hakuna your tatas. I need to interpret. You know what that means?
I think so, Lou.
That means don't have a rack attack. And that's as far as we can go here. Somewhere between the jets and the horses, though, it was hold the phone. Now I need to explain to you young people that's singular because there was only one phone and it was fastened to the house with a wire. Now it means something entirely different. It means, here, hold my phone, watch my video. Oh, don't hold it like that, you might send it into telephone Neverland. Oh, don't hold it by the side, you might send it in a mode to explode. So you have to cradle it on the palm of your hand. How many have done that, dropped it, and broken the screen?
Oh.
Yeah,
Everyone.
I know, watching too much Sesame Street. Well, there's the way I held my first grandchild. All it took was 10 seconds for me to understand crazy grandparents. Let's hear it by applause if you're a crazy grandparent.
Oh, you better.
Proud of it. Yay. There's other ways to hold grandkids. This one leaks. Here, Mommy. Stinky baby.
That's exactly how I do it. That is exactly how I'm going to do it to my mom. It made a stinky baby.
Or when they get older, you can hold them like this. I hate ceiling fans.
That's how an ant move would do.
Last week I lost 3. They still run, but they're unbalanced. Some things my age I just don't understand, but I do have holding T-shirts. I've got your size, by the way. Parks Department rules I can't sell anything here. So after the show, I'm going to go up to the Kitty Hawk Kites. It's the next to last building before you leave Avon. And they have my shirts and things. They also have my albums. I've got an album that something like you've never seen before. This is not my album. Neither is that. It looks like a business card. Well, maybe I sold that one. Anyway, it looks like a business card. It has a USB that flips out, plugs into your computer, and you can actually, for $20, you can actually sit around and laugh at your computer for over 2.5 hours. And all profits go to a charity that helps senior citizens. No, it's not me. It's a 501c3, and I've got information up there about that too. That's going to be. Would you hold that for me until the end of the show? That's my assistant.
Yeah. Hey, Boo, can you bear?
So, some things I don't understand. I don't understand the modern vernacular. I was with some comedians in a restaurant in Phoenix, and Bill Lukowski belted out, "Avery, get your hands off my jewel." I didn't know you could spell that J-U-U-L. The only type I knew was the family type. What did I miss? What was Avery doing with his hands? And poor Bill with only one. And what was he doing with it up on the table? And I don't understand why Sony put such crummy keyboards on their laptops. I had a Sony, and I went to the Dominican Republic. The computer left out the L, and I'd actually called it the Dominican Republic. There went my reputation. Like I had one after Stinky Baby. I told my daughter, sent her an email, I just got booked for 3 minutes at Harris Showroom. It left out the K, and I'd actually written, I just got booed for 3 minutes. And I don't understand why, when I bought a book for my Kindle, why did Amazon call it the hardcover edition? How can that be when there's no cover? And how can it be hard when the book's software? I went kiteboarding, went to Maui for kiteboarding. You know what Maui is? It's an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I went kiteboarding, and unfortunately, well, I saw an 85-year-old guy there getting a kiteboard lesson. I took care of him, and now I'm the oldest surviving kiteboarder. Didn't have enough wind for kiteboarding, so I did a lot of SUP. You know what that is? SUP, stand-up paddleboarding. As opposed to what I do up here, SUC. SUC, stand-up comedy. My first challenge was to get the board across the beach into the water. And that went pretty well until I got stuck in the sand with my little electric rascal scooter. So I decided to hold the board sideways. That went pretty well until I took out a mother breastfeeding a baby who was offending an old man until I took him out. Doing. Solved that social problem. Well, when I finally got the board down into the water, my challenge was to go from my knees to standing up. And it looked something like this.
Next person that arrives
Don't break something, man. Don't break your foot, man. Don't break your back either.
I did get away, though, from a lifeguard. Hey, get out of here. This beach is closed to old men with great big boards and little tiny Speedos. I really did catch a wave. There on the Kahului Harbor, I rode that little wave 561 feet. My nurse never caught me. The last day I was there, it was windy for a change, so I went kiteboarding over the boneyard, which, well, without foot straps. And you wonder what that is. That's stupid. Oh, the boneyard. It's a coral reef. It's like Mother Nature said, let's put great big rocks there just for him. So I blew a jibe, got drug over the coral reef, and fed the fish with donations of skin from my right knee, my left foot, and another body part I don't talk about much. My left thigh. The fish said,
Sweet move.
Coming back on Hawaiian Airlines, I got very well acquainted with the airline bathrooms. And it's like Boeing engineers said, let's measure people and make our bathrooms 3 inches smaller. And then they make the walls curved, so you have to stand like this to be in position. You ladies will have to change this visual to suit. Or if you're a daddle, you know what daddle is? Don't ask, don't tell. That means if you're from San Francisco. And then the flush is so violent that the toilet paper blows in the wind. Then the faucets have no delay, so when you try to get your hands under there while you're still getting water, well, you're not going to get there in time, kind of like the last time you had diarrhea. Then the opening on the paper towels is so narrow in the paper towels, so you get confetti. And then the spring on the waist door is so strong, you get the confetti back in your face. And for me, it looks something like this. Ladies, do you know what I just did?
Lifted the toilet seat.
I lifted the toilet seat and you didn't even notice, acknowledge, or cheer, or applaud, or anything. Wait, just a minute. I wouldn't have had to lift it because I'm in this bathroom by myself. Besides, nobody would have known. And it's an imaginary bathroom. I'm going to do it again and I want to hear some encouragement.
Yeah.
What do you mean, whoa? Whose side are you on? Me, take care of your business. That was the person before me.
I love that.
My next trip was a road trip here to the Outer Banks to do. Yep, that was all the way from Phoenix. I live in Phoenix, remember, Phoenix, Arizona. All the way here, and when there wasn't enough wind to kiteboard with my friend Tim, we did SUP. And while I was barely able to balance on my board, Tim was on his doing yoga.
Yoga.
For the flexibility. Show off.
I want to do yoga.
Well, let's hear by applause if you've done any yoga.
Will can do yoga.
Your name?
Me?
Yeah.
Margaret.
Margaret, namaste.
Margaret. Yeah. Mom.
Does that count as yoga? Namaste?
No, that's
I have done that.
Yeah,
Namaste.
you do it.
Yes.
You do it after you're done with the practice.
Yes.
well.
I skipped the practice and just went straight for the namaste.
That sounds like a good idea. Well, I need to explain to the rest of you people if you haven't figured out yet. That's yoga speak for howdy, partner. I know about this yoga stuff because out here on the Outer Banks is where I took my first yoga class for the view of the ocean. I never knew that yoga could get you such a crick in your neck, though. Must have been all that spandex. Well, Heather, our instructor, said, just relax. Well, she had us holding the 2x4. Now, you yoga types call that the plank position.
Oh.
That's like me telling you to relax with one foot at the dock and the other in the boat. I'd go down farther, but I'd hurt myself.
It was for you.
The hardest for me to hold was the doggy style. You yoga types call that the downward facing dog. To me it was arms torture. That wasn't all I had to hold. I had a determined methane bubble that desperately wanted to reach. Now I need to explain to you young kids, that's a fart. Don't tell them. With concerted effort, I was able to hold it. Not the doggy style. After the show, Heather had us laying on our backs and came around to use some smelly stuff to massage my head. I just hope she didn't mess up my hair. That was a joke. This hair is a joke. Unlike you, what should be growing out here is growing out my ears.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
My ex says, well, at least it keeps the bugs out. My ex says it keeps the bugs in with all the craziness. I have what I call the National Geographic hairstyle. 3 peninsulas. And the center peninsula is gradually becoming an island with less and less grass on it.
He's funny.
I need to tell you that, well, does anybody here save boxes? Let's hear it by applause if you save boxes. Yeah, all right. The rest of you don't need to listen. The rest of you need to read your instructions. Anytime you buy something, it says save the box. So I do. And back home in Phoenix, I've got boxes for printer, scanner, office chair, mother-in-law. My house is getting so full of boxes, I may have to move out into a box. Which is going to be difficult with a mother-in-law. Actually, that's not true. She's dead.
Oh, she's in a box then.
Well, hey, I need, why are you so happy? Actually, we moved her out in her own pine box. But I need to tell you that I am dying.
Oh.
Well, you are too. Hopefully after I do. And, well, have you ever noticed how we try to sugarcoat death? Oh, he's gone to greener pastures. And he's not even a cow.
He's hysterical.
He's gone pushing daisies. I'm going to be pushing dandelions and weeds.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's legal in Arizona. I'm going to be pushing weed. He's gone to be with the Lord. Some of my family is sure I'm not in that category. And we also try to sugarcoat on the way to death. I mean, when I was a kid, we sent Grandma to the corner of the cave. And you remember when we sent people to the old folks' home.
I do.
3 weeks ago.
They don't have old folks' homes anymore. They decided that might make people feel like they're getting old, which yours are, so we should face up to it. So they changed it to the senior center. After about 30 years, they decided, well, that might make people feel like they're getting old, which they are, so they should face up to it. So now they have the Dare County Older Adult Center. And when they send me away, they'll probably send me to the Older Toddler Center.
I am a man toddler.
And I'll toddle right back out. I do plan to live a long time. On my 100th birthday, I want to still be in the game. Although by then, I'm sure I won't know what game. Or the score. And I'll still be on the bottom. But I have plenty of company with the Cleveland Browns.
Hey!
It's okay.
Lou, watch it. Lou, we're going. I'm telling you, Lou. This is dangerous ground. I'm out of here.
Boy, that split the crowd in half.
Oh boy, Lou.
33 days after that birthday, I'm going to be with you guys bringing in the new year, 2042. For me, all it'll take is 950 million heartbeats. For you, it'll take 1 billion heartbeats if you forget to do your homework or forget your yoga.
Back to yoga. Oh.
Yeah. People, I went to the gym, and
Back to the gym.
I went to food. Let me start with Food Lion. I went to Food Lion, and I don't park close to the door so I can stir up my tired blood as I run in for a few things. Running back to my van, a kid said, "Hey, Grandpa, how come you're running so fast?" Well, you would be too, son, if you've been shoplifting. String beans. Well, let me tell you why string beans. I got a hold of some string beans that were so stringy, by the time I finished eating them, I'd already flossed my teeth. I don't know what this hip movement has to do with it. But I don't take supplements like creatine. Have you ever noticed the guys at the gym who do have those great big muscles? Well, they have little tiny thumbs.
That's my dad.
I learned something.
Some of you are reading between the lines. I don't know if that's legal or not. Well, I've got little tiny muscles and a great big mouth for comedy.
I'm correct. I go fitness, right?
It's really kind of fun being as famous as I am. In fact, I'm so famous until you saw my posters, you never heard of me.
Never forget you now, Lou.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
This is my 1230, I think, 33rd show.
12.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You hold 12, 3, 3.
And that shows how good I am at counting. And my total audience count so far is a little over 14,000 people, which impresses me, nobody else. And I've done comedy, like Gio mentioned, in 5 countries and 50 states. I never said I was funny, but I've been busy. My 50th state was Alaska. I flew up there. They treated me like royalty. They gave me a place to stay by the lake. Well, actually, they just pulled a camp trailer up by the water and said, "Here." It was cool. I haven't always gone by Arizona Lou. About 30 years ago, I went by Lewis and then Lou. And got confused with another guy at a national conference named Lou. Someone said, "Well, since you're the only guy from Arizona, I'm going to call you Arizona Lou." The name stuck. But before 1912, when Arizona became a state, I went by Territory Lou. And before that, Caveman Lou.
Sweet Lou, baby.
These keep coming, and they get worse. Before that, Ditch Lou. Told you they'd get worse. It was just a little ditch. And then after grew and grew, Grand Canyon Lou.
Is the one on bread?
And before that, Jurassic Lou. Some of you know that I drive a minivan. It's up there. I took the magnetic signs off because I'm going to wash it, get all the salt water off before I leave. But you have never seen a minivan. That's my home away from home. You've never seen a minivan with a foyer, convertible bed, office, pantry, refrigerator, running water, ceiling fan, and electricity. But it's all in there. And I don't want you to believe what you hear about the old guy in a white minivan. Because I don't have candy. Or a puppy. But I could get lots of kids.
Whoa.
With today's technology. Hey, I've got free Wi-Fi, unlimited data. Oh, I see you broke your screen. I can fix it, but you'll have to get in line. Ma'am, these are jokes. I could get so many kids I'd have to beat them off. And I'm not a Catholic priest.
Whoa, whoa.
Isn't your dad a Catholic priest?
I don't know how I'm going to leave this world, but I want to leave this world going as fast as I can.
There he goes.
Having fun. Hey, you'd walk this way too if your walker lost its balls. I want my obituary to read something like, Arizona Lou died in an avalanche of boxes.
Oh, you love back around. Oh, you like that Lou.
I volunteered for a clinical study of, well, it was actually a study sponsored by Stanford University about posture and back pain. And Carson there at this Egoscue, doesn't it sound like that's a new virus? At Egoscue examined me real close and said, Lewis, your right hip is lower than your left hip. Well, I can take care of that. Oh, and Lewis, your right butt cheek doesn't stick out as far as your left butt cheek. I can take care of that too.
Do the pop and lock.
I can do that.
Oh, and Lewis, you need more curve in your spine. No problem.
Like a mama.
And Lewis, you need to have your shoulders back more. You need to hold your shoulders back more. I can take care of everything, Carson. What's wrong with that guy? I don't know, but he sure has good posture.
Sweet Lou.
I had voice surgery, and it's embarrassing when my voice goes up high. Imagine doing comedy with a voice that sounds like Martha Stewart. Well, it's really embarrassing on the telephone. People say, "How can I help you, ma'am?" I'm not a man. Or I'll say, "Hello, may I please speak to the man of the house?" I am the man. Or worse yet, "Hello, are your parents home?" "Yes, they're up on the mantle." Hey, you people are an awful lot of fun. I'm glad I came. I'm glad you came. This is a record crowd for you people are fantastic. And go to ArizonaLou.com, and you won't see any advertising. You just stuff I want to remember, share, or think's important. I have up there, and just keep laughing. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I gotta give it back.
Yeah, you do.
You can get one up there.
Okay.
We're going to listen to Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lou.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lou. Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Yeah, George, too.
Yeah.
And both of you.
You people were great.
Love my voice. It's gone.
That was a lot of fun.